This video is brought to you by the FARMER-KLEIN YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Mill Landscape Midland. But before that, this video is brought to you by Chief Bingo 23 and Kevin Boyce. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Mill Landscape Midland map can be found over at the FarmingSimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Let me read a little bit of the description. Mill Landscape Midland has 101 fields, 17 points of sale, 14 points for purchasing fertilizer, lime, and seed, 5 production sites, collectibles, and a standard base game crop calendar. Let's go ahead and load on in. We are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at maps. That is additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. I will say that while the map loads on in, if you do play this map in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find that the base farm is completely empty of buildings and machinery. Now we're going to be taking a look at this map in new farmer mode, and in new farmer mode, obviously we do have a map that is built out with buildings at the main farm and with some starting machinery. Also, if you happen to play this map with precision farming, this map does include a standard generic soil map that is a part of the precision farming mod. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. You'll see that this map consists of a large variety of small to medium-sized fields, mostly square or rectangular in shape. We do have all of the standard crop types available to us in Farm Sim 22 on the map. And if we take a look at our lands area, you'll see that we start out by owning field 9, as well as the starting farm, which is identified as 1. We also own field 2 and 3. Now, this map does include several buildable areas that include area 74, 44, 63, and 120. There are also 2 biogas plants on the map. One is located here at 53, and I believe the other one is located at 87. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. And the farmland lease screen is going to show us all of the viable farmlands, how large those farmlands are, if those farmlands include fields, what the field number is, and then also the cost of those given farmlands. I'm going to slowly scroll through this list. At any point in time, please feel free to pause the video and reference the field number with respect to the farmland number, and then the cost of that farmland, because soon we're going to go ahead and take a look at our field calculator screen, and how that differs from the farmland lease screen is that the field calculator screen is going to show us how big these specific fields are, because a farmland may include more land than the field itself. For example, you can see that we start out by owning field 4, 9, and 70, and those specific fields are 0.24 hectares, 1.26, and 0.76 hectares, respectively. As I said, most of this map consists of small to medium-sized fields, but we do have a few larger fields. For example, field 28 is 4.12 hectares in size. Field 53 is 5.38, and field 57 is 11.21 hectares in size, but most are somewhere between 1.5 and less. As you can see, we have the standard base game crop counter available to us in this particular map. And if we take a look at our prices screen, you will see that we do have the ability to sell all of the base game crops. In fact, we have the ability to sell them to multiple sell points. We also have the ability to sell our eggs, wool, and milk. Silage, hay, straw, and grass also has sell points. And then as we move down through our production, we do indeed have the ability to sell all of the base game production that is available to us in Farm Sim 22. Now, one thing that we do not have the ability to do is we do not have the ability to process our stones. So we will need to put down a stone crusher if we play with stones enabled. And if we do play with pumps and hoses, we also have a sell point for our separated manure. Taking a look at our vehicle overview, you can see that all of the machinery that we own is owned. None of it is leased at the start, and all has very low operating hours and is well maintained. We do have a sheep barn and a cow barn at the start at the main farm, but we do not have any animals. We do have contracts available on this map, and we also do not own any production chains. And we have 12 Erlengrot cheese wedges as far as the collectibles on the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. We start out with the Case Maxim CVX 145 small tractor, the John Deere 7810 medium tractor, the Dutzfar Topliner 4090H harvester that is paired up with the 4090H grain header, and the 4090H header trailer. We then have the 1986 pickup truck, the Rudolph TDK 301 RP trailer. We have the POV5 XL plow. We have the Amazon Cinto 4000 Super Cultivator, the KG 3001 Super Power Harrow, and then the matching 3000 Super Seeder from Amazon. We have the Amazon 4500 2C Super Planter, the Hardy Mega 1200L Fertilizer and Herbicide Sprayer. We then have the Brantner Manure Spreader, the FarmTech 1550 Slurry Spreader. We have the Kuhn GMD 4411 Side Mower, and then the F240 Front Mower, the GF 8712 Tedder, the Semez Z2 840H Windrower, the Faro 4010D Forage Wagon. We have the XB 150 Front Loader Arms, as well as the Universal Bucket and Bale Spike for the front loader. And then we round it all out with a 900 kilogram front weight. Taking a look at our mods and DLCs, you will see that there are no custom vehicles or implements that are a part of this particular map. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at our build screen, our build mode, to see if there are custom buildings or placeables that are a part of the map. I do not believe that there are any. So we do have a custom water tap. In fact, it's located right here at the main farm. And the only thing on the farm that is not sellable actually is that water tap. No custom production, sell points, greenhouses, orchards, or generators. All base game animals. Nothing fancy with respect to lighting. And if we take a look at our decoration, we got some fairly standard FS22 painting textures, and then we do have some custom incorporated plants. Now, I believe these plants are coming from possibly Erlengrot as well, but let's go ahead and put these down. We have a bluebell, daisy, another daisy, and Edelweiss. Okay. Now, as far as our main starting farm goes, we have our farmhouse here, our Erlengrot farmhouse, with our sleep trigger around the side. We have base game farm silos, so we have our dump and fill pipes. See our new paintable flower textures. We have a 3-bay garage with machinery. We have our sheep area, 25 sheep in this particular pen. This is a standard base game pen, so we have our food trough, and then we have our wool spawn point. We have 2 silage bunkers here at this farm. Silage bunker 1 and 2, and all of this is sellable in new farmer mode. So if you do play new farmer mode and you want to swap out the silage bunkers, you don't want the sheep, you can do just that. Got a nice open shed. Then a large machine shed with workshop trigger. We have slurry storage. Then we have our animal or cow area. We have our milk trigger. 80 cows in this building. Then, of course, we have our food and straw trough inside of there. We have our manure heap. Our slurry point for our cows. Some more storage. Then, as I said, we have a water fill point here. The only thing that is not sellable on this farm is this water fill point. Everything else that we just talked about and looked at is sellable. Now, I think I did go ahead and, once again, kind of forgot to take a look at our precision farming soil map. As I said, this map includes the standard base game generic soil map. So let's go and see how that gets applied to the fields. Our starting fields are mostly composed of loam on fields 70 and 9. Field 4, which we own at the start, is mostly sandy loam. But with that, let's go ahead and take to the skies and do a little bit of a fly around. Let's gain a little bit of altitude and do a little spin around. You can see that most of the map is going to be relatively flat. We do have some rolling hills, but overall this is a fairly flat map. Shouldn't have too much trouble farming the fields with tractors that are a little bit below the horsepower rating that is specified in the shop as a result. Also, you will see that there are fields where we do have power lines running through them. The poles that are holding those power lines up do not have collisions. So that means hired helpers will drive straight through those, and you can too, should you so wish. Let's go ahead and kind of explore the map from the north and make our way around. So I was a little bit mistaken. The biogas plant there's actually 2 biogas plants on the map. One of them is over here by field 78. The other one is definitely down south of field 6. So here we have the smaller of the 2 biogas plants. As far as production on the map, we have the 2 biogas plants. We have a carpentry facility, sawmill, dairy, bakery, and a cereal factory. Now, the cereal factory is listed on the map as the FSCF. Now, down below that is going to be our carpentry facility. We have a buildable area that we can buy by field 74. So overall, this map probably would be a decent little map in multiplayer where you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different players with 5 different farms built out. So we are going to give the map a full point with respect to having production built in or areas set aside for such, because we could put down additional production at these buildable zones. They don't necessarily have to be farms. Here we have a sell point right here by the railroad tracks. We have another sell point, and then this sell point also includes the ability to buy some bulk products. We're going to take a look at that during the drive around portion. We have a manure buy point, and then we also have our animal dealer and bale sell point located below. We're also going to give the map a full point with respect to having the ability to sell all of the base game productions, animal outputs, and crops. We've got a dairy down below as well as a sell point here at basically the port area. We're going to make our way over to another buildable area by field 36 and 33. We are going to give the map a full point with respect to having the buildable or the farms fully customizable. And then we also have multiple other building areas where we could customize out additional farms. And then down below we have a bulk buy point for seed. And then we also have a sell point around the back of this building. We have a fuel station below. Our sawmill is located right over here. As you can see, we do have an animated or a drifting barge that's going to be making its way down the river. Let's give the map a little bit of river life to it. Down below we have a sell point and some bulk buy points. There we have our starting farm. There's a larger biogas plant. Over here we have a train and trailer sell point, as well as a bulk lime buy point. We have a grain sell point. We have our cereal factory located right there. We also have a pizzeria sell point and the bakery, as well as another fuel depot. And we do have another buildable area down here just south and west of Field 94. And then also down way off in the corner over there, south of Field 49. We have some bulk buy points as well as a grain sell point. Another fuel depot. Then we're going to be making our way back to the shop very, very shortly. Another available zone south of Field 84. Another grain sell point down here. Let's also include a bulk lime buy point. And at this point, we have concluded our kind of aerial tour of the map. We're going to make our way back to the vehicle shop, at which point we're going to grab our Mahindra and then drive around to all of the sell points and production areas. Now, with respect to all the buildings using the new texture technique to provide a 3D look, as well as various ground textures, I do believe they are, so we are going to give the map a full point there as well, because all of these buildings are, for the most part, Farm Sim 22 native buildings. Now, down here at the vehicle shop, we do have a icon for the shop trigger at the front door, but I want to show you it doesn't do anything. So I do get the option to open and close the door, and as I walk into and out of the shop, the actual trigger does not appear to work in order to pull up the shop menu. So we're going to go ahead and do that the old-fashioned way. We're going to grab our Mahindra. And then inside, we're going to find we have our workshop trigger, our dealer trigger, buy, sell, trade, repaint, customize, etc. Located right there. And then back outside, we're going to find right outside the door is where our vehicle is going to spawn in at. Now, we've got a decent sized area here for smaller implements and vehicles to spawn in. I'm not really sure you want to be spawning in too many large vehicles like harvesters, harvester headers, and such. So do kind of pay attention when you are spawning those in, that you don't kind of overwhelm the area. Now, coming out from the shop, we have our base farm, our starting farm, over here to the right. And to the left, we have our first sell point that we're going to take a look at. And in order to get to that sell point, well, we really should have come in behind the shop. So we'll drop in this location. The roads are kind of narrow coming through here. So interesting enough, right here we do have a wood cell trigger. So it says sell wood. So I do believe that there must be a wood sell point also here at the train tracks. We also have a dump station for the train. And we are located right here. So we have the Agra train station. Then we have the Agara, and then we have the Lime station. So we have the Agra train station dump point, or sell point. We have the Agara sell point located right here. We are missing the blue icon to show us that that is a dump location. And then we have the Lime buy point located right there. A little tight getting out of here, but there we go. Now we'll make our way back up and kind of behind the shop. Here we have a buy point for manure. We also have a buy point for seed. And then lastly, we have a buy point for our fertilizer. Really narrow roads. You probably are going to be coming through here with smaller machinery, smaller implements and such. So coming through here, we have a buy point. And now we are located right here. We have a Lime station, and then we have the GLW sell point forward of that. So here we have the Lime station. We can rent the train from there. And then we have our dump station located right here. Again, we're missing the blue hover icon. And I bring that up because I think what we're going to find is some inconsistency in areas that have that icon and areas that do not. This map has a kind of a European feel to it, so I guess I would call it a European map. Take our jog over here down to field 100. But from here we have the pizzeria sell point. a restaurant sell point. We have the bakery production, so we have our interactive icon at the front. Around the back, we have our dump point and our pallet point. We have fuel depot. And then coming in here, we have Corn Agri. So we have Corn Agri sell point. We then also have a lime buy point. We have then the cereal factory. We've already been to the pizzeria. So this is going to be the sell point area. Around the corner, we have our lime area right here. Then our cereal factory, which is, again, listed on the map as FSCF. So we have our pallet point, we have our dump station, and our interactive icon. Let's just sneak through here. No one will notice. All right, no one will notice. Over here we have Corn Agri again. Except this time, this is a railroad silo. So we have our dump point, we have our fill point, so that we have a dump point to dump into the silo, we have our fill point to pull out of the silo. And then we have the train dump and fill points also for the silo. That's how we're going to get product into the train in order to use the train sell points. Actually, looking at the map, I need to go back. I need to take this road that jogs off to the angle up by field 83. Any lag that you are seeing is directly derivative of the 1.81 update that just came out. It is not a derivative of the map itself. Anytime you update the game and are playing on a mod map or with mods, always expect to have a little bit of jerkiness the first time you load up, the first time you do in-cab driving or anything like that, because it does have to rebuild its shader cache. And we'll hang right, and this is our carpentry facility. So we have our dump point for our logs, we have our interactive trigger to sell our wood, we have our interactive trigger for our carpentry facility, and then around the side, I believe we have our spawn point for our planks, or no, more appropriately, our furniture, since this is the carpentry facility. Nicely diagonally across the street from the carpentry facility is the smaller biogas plant. So we've got a couple vehicle sheds with a silage bunker. And then once we buy the land, we will have then the trigger markers for the digester. We have our slurry point and our digester there. And we have our digestate trigger located right here. Let's make our way up to the north center of the map. Winding along the roads. It's a very nice looking map. I could see some folks enjoying multiplayer on this. Some of the fields could be merged fairly easily together. Now we're coming back to the vehicle shop, back to the main farm area. And then we're going to hang a right. Now, directly ahead, we have the kind of a hotel area here. This is actually a train rental area. What happens when you mix up train and rent? You get a rain rental area. So over here we have a bulk fertilizer area. We also have a bulk lime buy point. Oh, looky, looky, looky. Look what I found. A little cheese wedge. You're welcome. Now you get to find the others. Now, also up here, that's what I thought. Once again, we are missing the cell icon, but we have our lime station, and then we have the GW cell point located inside there. That's really why I went around back. I thought there was a cell point, and I just wanted to see. We have another placeable building area here to the left. This is going to be our animal dealer, so we have a manure buy point. Right here. Then we have a sell point for our animal dealer and the actual animal dealer trigger itself inside of here. There you go. We're going to make our way over to the northwest of the map. We're going to find the next series of hotspots. I believe the dairy is over there. dairy and the port. The port area. Yeah, super narrow roads, super narrow roads. Smaller vehicles, smaller trailers are going to be your friend here. So coming into the port, we have our dump station. Then we have our dairy area located over here. So we have our pallet spawn point. Our dump station and our interactive trigger at the front door. Let's make our way about center west of the map, just south of field 33 next. This perspective always does help us get a good appreciation for kind of the overall lay of the land. As far as road obstructions, so that these pillars along the road are collision free. We have another buildable area by field 32. Then we're coming into a small town area. We have a 5.4 seed. Then we have a sell point around the back of this building. Get it right there. And we have another fuel depot located right here. Now we're going to double back and cut across the kind of middle of the map here. Do another river crossing. We have our sawmill. So we have our plank spawn point. We have our wood chip point. We then have our dump point for our logs and our log sell point. We are always going to go over the scales backwards, apparently. Up and over the bridge, or up and over the river, on the bridge. And then here we have a manure buy point, we have a seed buy point, we have a grain dump point. Going to take us down to the biogas plant, which is kind of right in the middle of fields 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. And I could see where you could buy all of these fields that surround the biogas plant and put corn in those and use that to feed the factory. And once we buy the biogas plant, we will then have access to all of the triggers and such. We have our two 3-sided silage bunkers. Got a fairly large vehicle shed here. And then the BGA itself, we have our digester, our digestate and slurry triggers. I think the ground textures are really well done here, where we can kind of the dirt and grease and oil and stuff. We'll just take this road around to the next set of trigger markers. Watch the barge make its way down the river. Now we've already taken care of those triggers. I feel like we've already taken care of those off there in the distance as well. So the last set of triggers are down here to the south. So with respect to trigger and player interactive areas being clearly marked, we're going to give the map a half a point. The reason we're giving the map a half a point is, one, the sell points don't really have the floaty icons. Okay? The floaty icons really do help and point out a new player to a map of where things are going to be located. We also are completely missing, or we have completely broken, the shop trigger at the shop to actually pull up the shop menu. Some players like to use that trigger to pull up the shop menu as opposed to just pulling it up on a whim anywhere. So here we have a fertilizer buy point. And as such, we're going to end up giving this map a score of 4.5 out of 5. Here we have a dump station, and look, we have the floaty blue icon. Where is it on the others? We have a seed point. We have a lime point. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you care about the floaty little blue icons? Do you care about the shop trigger? What are you going to rate this map? 4 out of 5? 5 out of 5? 3 out of 5? Are you critical for some other reason? Fuel. And, of course, a placeable point located right here. Perfect for a farm build, perfect for additional productions. Hope you all have enjoyed the video. If you have, please go ahead and hit that like button. Also, feel free to share this video and any other videos on the channel that you may enjoy. Also, remember, we have map playlists for American style map, European map, forestry maps, South American maps, Polish maps, forestry maps. We also have a mod review playlist. Go check that out, where we take a look at the new and noteworthy mods that have come out over the past year or so, as Farm Sim is now making its way into its 1-year anniversary. And until next time, happy farming.